Good evening, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Wednesday, the 14th of February, 2024. Yes, Valentine's Day, Ash Wednesday for some, and our first ever cooperative gameplay day with Kat and I working together in Dondoko Island of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. So, a heck of a lot of stuff going on today. Let's talk about it all, shall we? So, first of all, on today's first stream, all right, we discussed a little bit of follow-up about yesterday's discussion about in the future, should I branch out from just being a gamer and do more talking-style content? Because it seems like these days, whenever I'm doing my podcast or just kind of talking to the audience, seems to get a lot more interest, whether it's because of engagement where I'm interacting more, or I don't know what it could be, but just seems like in a lot of cases, when I turn on the game, interest actually depletes. So it was interesting, a conversation. I did get some follow-up feedback on that. And I probably would have talked about it, except that today was a super heavy news day. We had to talk about EA basically slamming single-player experiences and talking about how they did one last year that failed miserably, so they think that they should just do live service games. I wish I was joking. That's a true story. And about Sony making a groundbreaking announcement, their CEO coming out and saying they're going to now do way more third-party stuff, way less single-party stuff that stays on PS5 forever because they want to make more money, which is very similar to the announcement that Microsoft supposedly was going to make. But anyway, if you want those stories in depth with lots of detail, check out the podcast from this morning where we tackled those, in full, rather than just a super abridged version I'm giving you here right now, which probably doesn't make much sense. Then we jumped into Balers Gate 3 on today's first stream, and we finished up the Gauntlet of Shar. Now, I don't want to spoil because basically the Gauntlet of Shar has tons of ways you can do it. And we did it a certain way with certain situations and certain combat. And I don't really think in the Gauntlet of Shar there's a perfect way to do it. It seems like no matter what, you kind of have to basically, like, even though how can I say it? I don't think there's a perfect way to do it where everyone benefits. Someone's always going to either be upset or get screwed no matter what. So I made choices I made. I'm sticking with those choices. I'm not rolling back on those choices. And I don't know if those choices are going to be good or bad for characters long-term in the game or not. Like, I literally have no clue. We'll have to see as we continue on. But basically with the choices I made, by the end of the stream, we were attacking Moonrise Tower. We were going head in attacking this tower. And I was like, oh, this is interesting because, a lot of the choices that I had made previously, like, for example, already having cleared out the jail cells and stuff like that, maybe that factors in, right? Like, maybe it's a good thing that I did stuff in a certain order in a certain way rather than another. I don't know because I've never played this before, but it certainly seemed to me like if I'm attacking the towers and I already killed the warden and all the guards in the basement, that probably we're going to have an easier time than if I hadn't, right? I'm just saying. So anyway, we were having this crazy fight and I ran out of time. So when we play this again on Friday, we're going to pick up right where we left off in the middle of this crazy battle of Moonrise Tower, all right? So, great stream, lots of fun. I hope everyone enjoyed that one. And then tonight, our first ever co-op stream, it was Kat and I teaming up to do Dondoko Island in Like a Dragon. And it was cool, although I'll say this, I know for a fact, probably there's technical difficulties and things that can be improved, all right? Number one, we bought a chair, and that chair is a nice one. It's I think it's like pleather. It's not a real leather chair or anything. It's basically just an office chair. It doesn't have good, like, lumbar support. It doesn't have all this nice comfy things that my chair has. But it's not bad. It's better than the stool I was sitting on. So immediately I sit on it and I realize I'm still way too tall in this chair. Like, I'm towering over here over Kat while Kat is like here and I'm here. It's like, well, there's nothing we can really do. If we switch, then she has to be in the more uncomfortable chair, right? Obviously, I want my wife to be comfortable. I want her sitting in this chair and feeling nice for the 2.5 hours she's here with us. I don't know what to do. This chair is very low to the ground. I can't find anything that I can buy that's low enough to the ground as this chair is. And someone on the stream says, why don't you just buy another chair? Because this is a $300 chair, right? It's an expensive, nice, comfy chair with full lumbar support and everything. I'm not buying another one, just to have it in here maybe once or twice a week for this co-op. It's not worth it. Plus, I don't even think 2 of these chairs would fit here. The chair is huge. So anyway, we're making do. So number one, I can tell we're not even, right? Number two, I bought an audio splitter cable to split the audio coming out of my Xbox controller, and I was going to have my neck phones coming out of one end and Kat's headphones were going to come out of the other end. So we try it and we realize there's no audio adjustment on that. Her headphones are earbuds, and the earbuds there's no audio adjuster on them, and it's way too loud. So on one end, it sounds good in my neck phones, but it sounds terrible there. It's too loud. It's like, well, we can't use this. I said, I have an idea. I have this audio receiver that I use when I use PS5 or Switch, and this takes audio out of the TV. So plug your headphones into here, and this has an audio adjuster. So she does it. She puts the earplugs in. She's like, oh, this is great, but there's another problem. I said, what? And she says, oh, well, these are noise-canceling earbuds, and now I can't hear anything. Like, I can barely hear you. You're sitting right next to me, and you're talking to me, and I can barely hear you. She's like, so what's the solution? Only play with one earbud in so she can hear, or she can use the neck phones, and I don't need audio, because I already know what it sounds like. Plus, it's Dondoko Island. You don't need to hear the audio of Dondoko Island. It's just a bunch of little atmospheric noise and stuff, and a little bit of music. It's not a big deal. So I was like, you use the neck phones. We'll figure this out. What I need to do, I either need to dig into my closet and find, like, my old Astro headphones, which I saved. They're not broken. They're just kind of worn out. I was like, I saved them on purpose just in case something breaks. Like, let's say my neck phones break. Well, obviously, I need some kind of backup headphones. So at least then I could jump into there and use those as backups if I really needed to. But they're buried in there. Like, they're buried in a bin, probably at the bottom of the closet there. So I couldn't easily get to them. Like, you know, what we need to do, we have to get, like, a very basic set of headphones that she can either wear but still hear, or maybe wear them around her neck and kind of pump up the volume on here, and it will be perfect. We just haven't gotten here. It was the first time doing it. We didn't know we were going to have these difficulties. It is what it is, right? So anyway, after we got through the technical difficulties, and by the way, you'll notice if you watch the footage, I went widescreen with the webcam. And you might say, oh, that's interesting. You went widescreen. You know, why don't you do widescreen when you actually do your standard gameplay? Fair enough. Maybe I could, because here's the thing. What you're looking at right now is 1080p video, okay? If I do 1080p and I shrink it to be in the corner when I do gameplay, it makes everything crap out, because I've tried this. Basically, what happens is it uses too much of the CPU or whatever, or GPU, and basically there's frame rate drops in the gameplay. So I'm like, is it really worth it to have 1080p video on the webcam and then have frame rate drops? Probably not. So what I do is just 480p. It's just a 480p camera. But what we did is this. We actually did a lower res widescreen. I'm not even sure what this would be called. I don't know if this is like, this is 800 by 440. This is what we used. Hello, everyone. This is the quality that we used, and we put it up in the corner, and it looks fine. You know, this is basically about the same quality of the camera that I'm using when I do regular gameplay, only it's widescreen. So she was here, I was here, and we both fit on camera. And I was like, this made sense. This is actually a perfect idea, because now it didn't eat up too many resources, okay? So that went perfectly well. I think the audio and video. The other thing was the microphone placement. Like, originally I had it right here, but she was sitting here, I was sitting here, and everyone was like, we could hear you, but we could barely hear her. So all I did is I twisted it towards her, and it picked up her voice better. My voice booms. My voice projects because I do this all day, every day. I'm used to doing it. She's not. So it made sense for me to move the mic over there like that. And then basically after doing all these adjustments and audio adjustments, because we actually lowered the game volume several times so people could hear better, it seemed like we were off and running. And let me put it this way. Basically, it went well. For as well as it can do a 2-hour session of Dondoko Island, we went right from 0 stars. By the end of the night, we hit 2-star rating on the resort. The highest rating is 5 stars. In that time period, we built tons of buildings. We had our first guests come to the island, and we pleased the guests. We started crafting souvenirs. We caught a bunch of bugs. We unlocked 2 different areas of the island that were locked off to us previously. All this stuff, okay? So by the end of the night, hitting the full 2-star ranking means that we're going to have new stuff unlocking soon. And just from playing tonight, okay, unlocked $40,000 of in-game currency in Like a Dragon Infinite Well. The main game, not the Dondoko part, the main game. So when I go back to play with my party in Hawaii, they have $40,000 to spend. I'm going to be able to go splurge and buy high-level weapons. Probably either buy more of the jobs that I couldn't afford yet, or spend money on other things that I need for my party. You know, it's going to be great. And that's really what the reason Dondoko's in there. It's a mid-game ability to basically get a ton of money and stuff. So that's why we're doing it. And it's fun. You know, we had a good time. Lots of questions from the audience. Lots of social interaction between us and them. Good conversation. I don't think anyone had a problem with Kat doing the gameplay. It was funny because this morning I'm on my podcast and I see people starting to bitch. They're like, oh, so Kat's going to play it? So basically it's not co-op, it's her playing and he's just going to be there. I was like, why are people bitching already? Like, it hasn't even happened yet. You haven't seen what the idea is. The idea is, yes, we're doing Dondoko Island, but we're also interacting with the chat. We're talking with people. We're answering questions. It's meant to be half social, half gameplay. Someone needs to play. If I'm playing, and I'm reading chat, and I'm updating leaderboards, and I'm moderating, then it doesn't work. I might as well do it myself, right? The whole point is she adds to the experience because Kat has already beaten Dondoko Island. She did really good things tonight. She set up the whole block with all these businesses. She was doing things fast that probably I wouldn't have been able to do that fast. And that was excellent. You made tons of progress. In 2 to 2.5 hours, we turboed through the whole first 2 legs of a 5-leg endeavor, right? You know, most people say you can beat it in 10 hours. Maybe we'll beat it faster. I don't know, but maybe we'll beat it even faster than that, right? So anyway, it went well. And by the way, to anyone who was here live, thank you. A good audience. Of course, there was trolling. Me and the mods nipped that in the butt immediately, just kicking those asses out, getting them banned. Oh, you want to do a big bomb of fake memberships with an insulting name? Gone in 20 seconds. Not even. Didn't even take 20 seconds to erase it from the chat. So everyone was like, oh, wow, that went smooth. Yeah, it did. It went real smooth tonight. No one was able to hold us back or annoy us. It went well. Conversation was great. And by the way, contributions, yeah, they were good. So 0 complaints. Everything went smooth and super well. And again, we had a really great time hanging out with everyone and was appreciative of everyone who came out and enjoyed the stream. So here's the deal. Since we had a good time with it, we're going to probably do this 2 times a week moving forward. All right? And I think what's going to happen, it'll be fun because we're going to have nice co-op opportunities to talk with the chat and hang out. And then on top of that, I'm going to benefit from doing this by having all this money and resources when I go back to the main game. So essentially, here's how it's going to work. The next stream we're going to do co-op is Saturday night. Then I'm playing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth regularly, like story-wise and everything, on Monday night. Then we're going to do another co-op stream on Tuesday night. And then I'm playing it again normally on Wednesday night. So every time we play, it'll transfer over and benefit the next stream. You see? I think that will be pretty neat and pretty fun. We're at Chapter 6 in the game where there's a lot of side content to do. So I think we're at a great time to do it as well. So yeah, that's how we're approaching it. And I hope that you guys enjoyed what we're going to do. I'm going to upload those videos tonight. And yes, those are going to be numbered as if they're part of the regular playthrough of the game. But I'm also going to separate them out and have a separate playlist. Basically saying, hey, co-op playlist, Kat and Phil, Dondoko Island. So those parts will be separate. If you only are interested in Dondoko Island, you'll be able to watch those parts in its own playlist. But if you want to watch it as part of the ongoing Like a Dragon playthrough, you can also do that. I'll have it in 2 separate playlists at the same time, so you can watch it either way, however you want to watch it, okay? But those parts will be live tonight. I hope you'll enjoy them. And I'm looking forward to more, okay? So that was the streaming day. Now, I'm off from streaming tomorrow. Thursdays are always my day off. I'll be back on Friday. And number 1, tomorrow, there's a big announcement from Xbox/Microsoft about the future of their games and consoles. Yes, I'll be trying to get informed on that so we can talk about it on Friday's podcast, plus any feedback that I get in from any of you over the next 24 to 48 hours. I'll talk about that, obviously, on Friday as well in regards to the future of my content. Friday's daytime stream is basically the conclusion of Act 2 in Balers Gate 3. People are saying there's like 2 major fights left, and then you go into like the basement of the tower, and there's the big conclusion, and then you're done with the act. So probably ending Act 2 on Friday, which I'm excited for. Friday night is Friday Night Fights, Tekken 8. I'll be doing more Yoshimitsu gameplay. In fact, I'll probably watch some gameplay videos, likely like Thursday night, the night before, of people playing with Yoshimitsu, seeing what the techniques they're using and what they're doing, and try to apply that, you know, to my gameplay on Friday night. Saturday, then, the daytime stream will be Baldur's Gate 3, the first glimpse of Act 3, and Saturday night will be the next Dondoko Island co-op. Okay? Everyone, thank you so very much. A great streaming week. A lot of support. A lot of fun and engagement. We are playing the same games. I know that. A lot of people are like, when's the new games? Well, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is right around the corner. It's only about a week and a half left. That's a major game, and after that, in March, there's going to be many more major games coming out as well. I'm trying to get as far in the current games as I'm playing because I want to get chunks in before Final Fantasy VII becomes the main featured game. I know everyone wants to see me play this, including me. I'm excited for it too. So I'm trying to get as far as I can before we get caught up in other stuff. All right? I hope that you will join me the next week to week and a half before Final Fantasy comes out into month end. There's going to be a good variety of stuff. Keep in mind, the next Retro React stream is coming up this Sunday night. Please vote over on DSP Throwback. It's youtube.com/@DSP Throwback. Do you want to see more Red Dead 1, more Dark Souls 1, Heavy Rain, or Bully? I want your opinion, and I can't wait because those streams are great. So I can't wait to do another one of those come Sunday night. All right? Everyone, thank you so very much. I hope that you enjoyed the streaming week with me. Please be safe. Enjoy the gameplay. See you Friday when we do it all again. Peace out, everyone. Have a good night. Bye-bye.